That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him. So, today's woodworking project is just another one of those quick and easy builds that I've had on my list for years, maybe even longer. And I asked myself, why did I wait? Maybe it was too easy in its simplest form, or maybe I couldn't find the right lines, the right look to get my inspiration fully on. But this week, it came to me. Now, the cheapest way to do this, 2x4s. You've seen me do it before, grip, rip, and flip. But if you don't have the time, grab a 1x12 or something similar. It'll just cost a little more. For me, I kind of split the difference this week. A 1x8 and a 1x4. And in the words of Linkin Park, in the end, it doesn't even matter. But it does matter to the algorithm, so please hit that like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to cut around the knots here. I don't want any to fall right on the middle of a cut. It's a pet peeve of mine, so I just slide up a little to make sure my 24 inches falls in between the knots. And look at that. My 1x8 is whoa. It's the universe telling me this board was destined to be cut smaller, so I oblige. Back at the bench, I begin the layout of the top. I got my 1x8-ish. It's actually exactly 8 inches wide. You gotta love the inconsistencies of rough cut lumber. And I got a 1x4. Altogether for me, this is going to come to 11.5 inches wide. I'm going to rip 45-degree angles on each side to start with so they can come together just at a slant. Simple enough, tilt the blade to 45 and slide them through. And if at first you don't succeed, slide the fence over and try again. Now, you can see the hint of what I'm going for here. I have this baluster. I'm using it for a template. I want it to peek through these boards at a 45-degree angle. My baluster is standard pressure treated one, so it's just for practice, 1.25 inches by 1.1 inches. I need to rip another 45-degree, leaving enough space for it to shoot through the gaps. Trace it, and it's 1.5 inches wide opening for me. Then it's pretty simple. I want 2 balusters, one on each end, so I mark them out. And back at the miter saw, I cut those holes right out. And then we slide right into the glue up. In theory, this should go easy, but I'm a little nervous. How do you tighten 45-degree angles down without the board sliding up and out of sync? Pin nails. I love the little nailer. In my review, I said it was the third hand you need. And in this case, you do, and it works like a charm, holding all the little pieces together. I shoot it in at an angle over and over every 2 inches or so. Then put it in some clamps and clamp her down. The pin nails hold and stop the 45s from sliding up. Just enough for me to tighten it down and get a little glue squeeze out, but not a lot. This came out great. I have a couple pin nails that shot out at strange angles and popped through, but I can still pull them right out now that the glue dried. Then I sand it all down. 150, 180, and eventually 220. Then I decide I want to strengthen the glue up a touch. I don't think it's necessary. It went well, but I still want to do it. Track down some long screws that will reach through all three pieces of the glue up. Getting jiggy with a couple clamps, I managed to get the piece standing upright. And I drill. Pilot hole. Then I get real lucky. I have an 1/8" drill bit that is massive. You can use a sharpened coat hanger if you don't have a drill bit. I learned that from someone running wires through my oak floorboards. It just takes a little longer. Then a wider drill bit up on top to allow the screw to drop in so I can tighten her down. I spend the next few minutes coming up with the size of the baluster that I'm going to need eventually by sliding it in the hole and checking for 90 degrees, making sure everything is perfect, then marking it. Satisfied with that, and actually really quite pleased at this point, I track down some straps that are close to the baluster size, and then rip it to width at the table saw. Then just simple 45 degrees at the miter saw. Here's where I decided to put another little detail on. I've been thinking about it, and I don't want it flush. It looks odd flush, cheap. I want it raised up just a little bit, 1/4 inch I'm thinking. Then I can come in 1/4 inch around each edge and bevel it, giving it some depth and dimension and that little bit of detail. I sand the 1/4 inch chamfers on the edges versus running them through a router. Routers scare the crap out of me. I use them, but I'm not that comfortable with them yet. I'm just far more comfortable with the sander. Even though to date, knock on wood, it's the only tool that has actually bitten me. And you have to love when you forget your camera's on and you film your booty, or lack of. Then it's just rinse and repeat for the other side. I'm thrilled at this point with how it's looking. Just enough of a chamfer on the end grain to make it look deliberate and give that nice little detail. And the angles are all perfectly set at 90 degrees. So I repeat the process from earlier. The 3 steps of drilling. Tiny bit, long, then wide, glue and screw. And I head in for lunch, a bowl of chili and a sofa. And it was at this moment that I realized I messed up. And I looked over at the window I had made this for and realized my legs are far too long. The sill is actually 4 inches deep or so compared to the wall. So I'm going to need to trim the legs. These are the things that drive me crazy, that I should have thought of. It's funny, it's frustrating, and it's life. So be it. And I use a hand miter box to cut the size. And quite honestly, if you ever want to work out, cut by hand. Forget the power tools. I broke a sweat. And for a finish, it's no surprise, golden oak. The window itself is golden oak. So hoping it all kind of blends together. And here we are. I countersunk a couple screws into the windowsill and cut a little fluffy top for it. Picked some Velcro out to hold it in place. Sorry, hook and loop as Velcro is copyrighted. It hasn't arrived yet, but when it does, it should be great, allowing me to remove, change out, and wash the top. I love the little plugs I use. I was going to use dowels, but ran out, and I had these left over from 25 years ago. I have at least 2 more to make for the family room. I have 3 cats, so no fighting, and sometimes a 4th, as my daughter's cat still comes home every now and then for a play date. So, do you have a windowsill calling for this build? Cats or dogs? Or both in my case. As always, thanks for watching and choosing to spend 10 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until the next time.